Okay, good evening and welcome to show number 1001 Off the Lip Radio Show. TC not here tonight, sadly, unfortunately, but he's taking a little vacation with the fam. And I am here today down here at the Wrigley Building on the west side of Santa Cruz, which from where I live, it's like a whole, country away. But I made it over here, and in the scary Wrigley Building where you never even know where the hell you're going. The place is intimidating. And I'm here this afternoon with SwellCycle surfboards.
That's right.
Who have taken this industry by storm and going off in a completely different direction than most other companies, I think, as far as the surf industry is concerned. And you just got a what? $1 million. So where you guys want to? Let's start from the beginning, real quick. Start from the beginning. I know you've coughed out a million times, but just a beginning statement as far as how this all got started.
Yeah, how SwellCycle got started. Well, basically, I was surfing at the lane one day and my leash snapped. I felt it pulling, and then at some point you don't feel it pulling.
Yeah.
And it sent my board into the cliffs, like a lot of people have, and I was able to capture it.
Yeah.
You've lost your board.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I was able to capture it. The whole nose D-lam was 6 inches off, and I spent the next few weeks trying to fix it. And I noticed this pile of trash building up right next to me. And I tried to recycle it, and the city was like, nope, we can't recycle this. This is going in the landfill. And it was foam and fiberglass and resin and gloves and stuff like that. And I was like, wow, I thought all of this was recyclable, And then I did a little research. I talked to Nathan, and we started looking into it. And apparently this is an industry-wide problem. It's not just when you're fixing your board, but it's also when you're making it as well.
Yeah. Or throwing it away.
And throwing it away. Yeah, when you're building it and at the end of the life.
Yeah.
And so, looking at our experience with advanced manufacturing and where the industry is right now, we thought we could apply it to how boards are made and the water sports industry as a whole. So that's where SwellCycle started.
Were you familiar with shaping just regular boards before you got into this?
I was familiar through my friends.
Yeah.
So I went to college in UC Irvine and surfed around Newport and Trestles and that whole area.
Yeah.
And so I had a lot of friends that were familiar with shaping.
Right.
So I was always very close to it. But I'm connected with surfing by I just love surfing.
Love it, yeah.
But our co-founder, Paul, he's a shaper.
Yeah.
And he brought that knowledge for us.
Right.
And that's kind of how this picture was completed.
Can you explain Can you show one of the boards? You just explained it here on the air about how it's made.
Yeah.
And the
totally.
difference, and give us some dimensions and some weight, and pick any one you want.
Yeah, this one's good. Yeah. So basically, this whole board is printed vertically like this from the ground up.
It's printed.
3D printed.
Okay.
That's right. And basically,
see, I'm not a nerd. Not just that 3D printing. I can't wrap my head around it.
Yeah, 3D printing. It's basically like a hot glue gun attached to a motion system.
Okay.
So it's like putting down layers of hot plastic that cool down really quickly, and it just does that many layers at a time. So for example, this board has 6,000 layers, and the beads of plastic that it lays down are very thin.
Yeah.
Between 0.3 to 0.6 millimeters. So actually, what that allows us to do is create really intricate structures internally to the board.
Makes it stronger?
Makes it strong, durable,
Yeah.
and you can start playing around with flex and response, which is really difficult to do with any other manufacturing process, because this process allows you to build the inside of the board versus a cutting process,
Yes.
like CNC or
Right.
when you're working with foam, you can only access from the outside.
Yeah.
You can't really build it from the inside out. And so 3D printing allows us to be able to do that, and allows us to give the boards a very interesting
Right.
characteristics.
Are these boards kind of the same? If I go to the Arrow shop over here, same type of pricing as regular boards, or are they a lot more expensive?
They're pretty much the same pricing.
Okay.
So if a board like this would go for $870.
Right. So it seemed like it would last a lot longer than a regular foam board.
Yeah, that's the idea. The idea is that they're more durable, they're stronger,
Yeah.
and they have more flex.
They
Okay.
don't pressure ding.
What's that?
They don't pressure
And they don't pressure ding.
Yeah, and that's fundamentally, if you look at foam, right?
Yeah.
EPS foam specifically, once you put a certain amount of load on there, pressure,
Yeah.
that deformation generally
Yeah.
doesn't spring back to its original shape.
So
right?
what's in my hand? If I'm going to start making this board, what's in my hand to begin with? You got to have the hot glue gun, right? And what else? What's in my hand to make that board?
Yeah, so first of all, what we're focused on right now is how do we take out the foam out of surfboards, and replace them with these smart cores, basically. Recycled materials, smart deposition,
Yeah.
so we can control where the material goes. You can have more material in the center to
Yeah.
kind of simulate a stringer,
Okay.
or you can have higher material near the rails, and that
So
affects
you
the board.
because you're making it from the inside, you can pretty much do whatever you want,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
However I want. Yeah. Okay.
And you're limited to what physics will allow you to do.
Of course.
And that's part of our work, is seeing what's the range of design that we can develop for this process. And then we open it up to shapers so that they can play and create new ways of surfing waves
Yeah.
with this technology,
Right.
making it more sustainable and
Hyper personalized, I would say.
So if I come in, I see this longboard here, beautiful longboard right here. Do you ask me what I want? Do you shape it around what I want? Do you take dimensions about what I want, how I surf, where I surf?
That's a great question. So we don't actually do that part. Since we're trying to replace the inside of the board, we still want to work with shapers.
Okay.
So it's very important that you talk to your shaper.
Yeah.
You tell the shaper what you want, what sort of waves you want to ride, what's your style of surfing, and then the shaper can come to us and be like, hey, I have this shape, I want to make it with your technology. And so we would print the shaper's board, the core, and give it to them.
Yeah.
And then they would do the glassing and
Yeah.
give you the final design.
As you know, there's a lot of shapers in this town. Some have been here for a long time and are old and famous. Are they now looking at what you're doing, or are they still going ahead with their the traditional foam board? Have you seen Bob Pearson walked in here yet? Doug Howell, has he walked in here yet? Going right?
We actually Doug Howard actually has come here twice, 3 times now.
Yeah.
And he's needed help scanning some of his boards so that he can have 3D files of them.
Yeah.
So we helped him do that, and actually to help him visualize what that file looked like, so that he could tell if it was exactly what.
So this is what you can show a client or a buyer of his board, right?
Exactly. So this is a miniaturized version of the scan
Of the board.
Of the board.
That's very cool.
So
Yeah, you can make it any scale.
Yeah.
you want.
All right. Yeah, but just to have
Yeah.
that, it's like that's my, no, I want it more here. I want this. You can change it, huh?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
Sometimes
very cool
it's-
right there.
Yeah, that is actually
Look
one
at that.
of,
Look at that.
Hott's-
You're just going to go in. You get a board. You're going to get one of these first. That's what your board's going to look like.
Yeah.
That's
You
very
can-
cool.
You can feel it, you can see it, and then you can modify it before
Yeah.
you spend all this time manufacturing the full thing. right?
You've got to put your name on the camera here. No, your name.
Oh, Patricio.
Nathan.
That's right. And you have a website, right? You have a website,
Yes.
You do? Yeah.
which is busy. I imagine it's pretty busy.
Yeah.
Yeah?
It's pretty busy.
Which is SwellCycle.com? No,
SwellCycle
SwellCycleSurfboards.com.
SwellCycleSurfboard.com. There's another one, RideSwellCycle.com.
Okay.
Both take us to your website.
Yeah. And
you
your background was what? I remember it was something unusual. If I remember, we spoke earlier on a earlier show.
Yeah, I worked in the entertainment industry, making basically robots, animatronics, that would walk around parks and they could dance and teach yoga. So I was doing it before it was cool, before the Silicon Valley people started making animatronics.
Yeah.
This was like I think 8 years ago.
Yeah.
So.
And your background is?
So I'm a mechanical and aerospace engineer as well. Patricia and I actually went to university together.
Oh, you did? Yeah, you need one. You need him, huh?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Him and I went together, known each other for over 10 years now.
Yeah.
And yeah, I spent the past about 6 to 8 years in manufacturing and supply chain.
Yeah.
Scaling ultimately Bay Area hardware startups to thousands,
Okay.
thousands of units. Yeah.
So somebody wants to get one of the boards or interested in one of the boards, they can obviously look online, but can they come down here and visit you guys? And right? Is that interested in getting a board, right?
Absolutely.
But most of them they're sold through a company in Spain. Is that most of them sold that way?
No. We sell our boards out of here.
Okay.
Like the shapers that we represent.
Yeah.
Right now, the first shaper we're representing is our co-founder, who basically believed in the mission from the beginning.
Yeah.
And he's like, you guys are crazy, but I'm on board. And so he's been helping us, basically giving us beautiful shapes.
Yeah.
And so I can show you the importance of that.
Sure.
Because when we first started, we made a board that just barely resembles a surfboard, right? So
You mean that?
It's a potato chip.
yeah,
Looks like a surfboard.
it resembles it. I
Yeah.
mean, just barely. It's pretty heavy. I glassed it myself.
Yeah.
And you can see it's got like these bats. Here you go.
Oh yeah, it is heavy, huh?
Yeah, it's a good amount. I mean, we've come a long way. This was about a year and a half ago.
Right. So, but you knew you had to get rid of 50 how many pounds off that board to make it?
This was probably like 12 pounds.
12 pounds too much?
Yeah.
Okay.
You have to cut it by half, basically.
Okay. All right.
And we've done that since then. So that's really exciting.
How did you do it? Stronger plastic, or how did you make it lighter but still able to, not just be strong?
That's a great question, and that has to do with the lattice software that we've developed.
Yeah.
To better control where the material goes and have a finer resolution of the quality of the print.
Okay.
And so we've done a lot of iterations.
Yeah.
Continuing to print coupons and testing them to failure over and over again like crazy people.
Yeah.
But luckily we were doing slightly different things at the time. And that got us from like a board like this to a board like this one. So you can see here that the resolution is a lot cleaner, the columns are a lot stronger, and even the glassing is so much nicer.
Who glasses them? Glass them here?
Yeah, we work with multiple glassers in town. Right now, this one was glassed by Stretch.
Yeah.
And we also work with Bob. Those two boards back there were glassed by Locust.
Okay.
Tyler Hopkins. And
Yeah.
he did a great job with that.
You got. Did you take your board to Stretch?
Yes, we.
What did he think? He's a crotchety old.
Stretch is he's a
you-
visionary for sure.
He's unique.
He sees
Yeah.
like the potential in things.
Yeah.
So he's done some really cool projects for like Burning Man too.
Yeah.
Where they had these like they needed to put these LEDs in this like longboard style electric skateboard.
Yeah.
And he took them in too, and he basically took us in when we were like making boards that were kind of like that,
Yeah.
And most people would be like, oh no, that's not the sort of work that I want to get into.
Yeah.
But he was like, yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
And
Very quickly.
we've glassed a lot of boards with him.
How do they? You've obviously surfed regular board. How different is it? How do they surf, and how different do they surf?
Yeah, so they surf. It feels like you're on the trampoline,
Is there a noticeable? Let me ask you this question: is there a noticeable difference?
Yes.
Right, there is.
Yeah.
Like, holy, is the big difference?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so traditionally, like the last few boards that we've made have been a little bit heavier by like 30%
Okay.
of a board that you would be, used to.
Yeah.
But when you're surfing it, you can't really feel that because there's so much flex and spring in the board that it totally accounts for that extra weight. So now that we've kind of solved the weight issue, but we still have a lot of flexibility.
Yeah.
The boards they're incredible.
Yeah.
You're like surfing this like trampoline.
You said a trampoline, yeah.
And it feels like it has a lot of speed generation, especially off the bottom turns.
Yeah.
So it definitely projects down the line. It's something you just gotta
Experience for yourself.
experience for yourself.
And let's talk about real quick before I close this. Surf companies have been struggling. The surf industry. It's weird how the surfing has boomed, but yet the economy of the surfing industry has is dying. Like Billabong closing down, Rip Curl, whatever. But you guys got was it a grant for $1 million, or where did that come from, and how are you going to use that money? What do you see you're going to do with it? Was it?
Yeah, you want to take this?
Yeah, just show me the $1 million didn't come out of mid-air.
Yeah.
Somebody must have been knee deep in here going, these guys deserve it. Now, how did you get that?
Absolutely, yeah, that's a great question. So we've obviously been very fortunate to be working with a group of investors both locally here, but also from the LA area. So this wasn't a grant; it was a venture capital fund,
Okay.
plus like angels here in the community that we love and have been massive supporters of our vision and mission to really just make better manufacturing methods all around. Right now, surfboards is something we're super passionate about and something we're changing, but really the bigger vision of what we're planning to do is to really try to revolutionize how large format, high performance structures and products are designed, manufactured, and scaled across different industries.
Yeah.
So this doesn't end with surfboards.
Okay.
Surfboards is just the beginning.
Okay.
Water sports as an industry is
Yeah.
kind of the rest of it. But also we've been partnering with other local businesses here, such as the Seymour Center.
Yeah.
We're helping them restore Miss Blue. So that's part of how we can apply our technology, right? So what we're building is a manufacturing technology stack
Okay.
that can be applied to surfboards, and if you can solve it with a 200-300 pound person riding something that's been sustainably and
Right.
efficiently manufactured, you can, other things are easy. So that's the vision.
I've been over to Cruise Foam and the boys from Cruise Foam. This is similar, isn't it? Is this similar or no?
No, it's very different.
Very different?
Yeah,
Okay.
so Cruise Foam is focused on packaging.
Yes, but they started off though with wanting to make a surfboard that was recyclable.
That's true.
Right.
Well, they wanted to make a surfboard that was compostable.
Right.
So you would be able to, it would just disintegrate into the ground
Right.
when you were done with it, which is a beautiful vision.
Yeah.
Our boards are a little different because they don't dissolve into the ground. You have to put them through a process of recycling.
Okay.
And so that's where our circularity diagram comes into play. And so this is the vision of how we want to keep the materials in our life cycle.
Okay.
So you can see some of the raw materials coming in here, into our printers, they're surfed, and then at the end of the life, every board has the end of their life,
Yeah.
Our boards just tend to last a little longer. We can grind them down and turn them into other products or turn them back into filament.
So if somebody can bring their own board in here, actually make it, revamp it and make it new if they wanted to, right?
Absolutely.
That's right.
That's
Yeah.
what we did with Doug Howe. Is he brought an old Miss Magic board in.
Yeah.
We digitized it.
Yeah.
And we gave him the file, and at some
Wow,
point,
that's so cool.
anytime we could
Yeah.
remake that for him. Yeah, obviously with this permission, this is
Yeah.
the thing here is we're not trying to just replicate surfboards.
You guys, this is very exciting for you guys. So it must be a lot of screaming in here. Oh, yes, we did it! It must be a lot of excitement, in
A lot
here.
of excitement, but also a lot of responsibility.
For sure. Well, now you've got
This is
now
just
you
the
know that money comes with responsibility. So you have to perform.
We have to deliver.
Yeah.
And the pressure is even higher than it was before the money was.
Did you go ask for it, or was it something? Did you go to them, or did the investors come to you?
Yeah, so I think it's a two-way. It's been a two-way street.
Yeah.
We have been openly raising funds to be able to scale, but in this case, we end up meeting the investor through someone who knew about SwellCycle, so they kind of came to us that way. But really, we've been asking for money.
Exciting! You guys have made since I think you were on the show maybe a year ago, maybe I forget.
Yeah, pretty much a year ago.
Yeah, maybe, and you guys have come a long way.
Yeah, we have. I mean,
we'll keep coming back. We'll keep dragging the camera in here every year.
The next time you come, the space will be a lot bigger. I can tell you.
You think so?
Much.
Yeah.
Oh, for
you
sure.
need more room.
Yeah.
We're scaling.
Yeah, we are. And I think the last time you were here, we were in the garage.
Yeah, I think so.
And
yeah.
so you could show the garage. There's photos of it over there.
Yeah.
Show the audience.
Yeah, we have some pictures of the garage and some of the printers in the garage. They barely fit.
Right.
You know, we designed the printers just to be like an inch smaller than the ceiling.
Yeah.
Just so that we could like fit them in there.
Are these boards accepted in the lineup? Like you know what I mean? Like, there's always I started paddleboarding years ago. I was hated, right? Because I had a paddleboard, big thing. Get that thing out of here. I was not welcome at all. Even though I was welcome the day before when I had a regular board, but now I got a paddleboard. I was hated. So there's no. What are the shapers thinking? What do the local surfers think about these boards?
What was that?
Oh.
Yeah,
There it goes.
Oh.
It's still good. We're still good.
Oh, we should turn it off. It's smoking. Down there, Nathan. There we go. A bulb just went out. What a shitty bulb.
Smoking.
Yeah.
Smoking guys, got a smoking gun here.
Smoking gun.
But it's accepted by everybody?
Yeah, I mean, you can't really tell you're riding the SwellCycle board when you're in the water. At least the boards that I'm riding, because they're usually under the water. It's a short board, you know. If you're riding one of our bigger boards, it kind of like just floats barely on top. But you can't really tell it's different until you pick it up and the light goes through it. Yeah. And you can see like all it just illuminates. It's super cool.
Beautiful.
Or when you're riding it and you hit the lip, it like just lights up.
Yeah, very cool.
So it glows. So it's not like a SUP where you're like you're towering on top of people and they feel intimidated.
Have you made an SUP yet?
We're working on it.
You are?
I mean, that's pretty close to an SUP, so
it needs to be a little wider.
We're on there. We're on our way.
Our printers can definitely do wider than that and taller than that, so we can.
But I want to congratulate you on the monetary input. I want to congratulate you on your advancement of everything that you're doing.
Thank you.
And I think it's wonderful. I think it's wonderful for the community. I think it's wonderful for the world and Earth itself. So
thank you.
I want to thank you guys for the interview. I appreciate your time.
Yeah.
And next time I bring a fire extinguisher.
Yeah, fire extinguisher. The printers are fine, but it's those light bulbs, man.
What do you want to add?
I was going to add. We want people to try the boards. So we have, if you'd like to demo, either reach out to us directly or go on our website on the homepage. There's a section you can say request demo.
Yeah, my son would love to. My son's 34. He's a great surfer. He'd love to. I know he'd like to try one.
Yeah. Or on our website, there's an email info at SwellCycle or Nathan Patricia at SwellCycle.
Cool.
We're happy to.
Thank you.
Let's try it. Yeah.
Make an SUP, will you, for crying out loud?
Yes.
No problem.
Make one for Guy. Guy's gonna have to come down here. You have to make one for him.
If you make him a SUP.
Anyway.
Sure. Awesome.
Thanks, guys.
Awesome.
No problem.
Appreciate it.
Take care.
Shaka. Whoa. There it is right there. All right.
That's actually Patricia's